This little blue squill, I had planted them among the teet-to-teets, but they're kind of not surviving really well. I had tried to dig up the blue squill to move it, and I tried to dig this up, and I don't think I got any bulb with it, so I may have just zapped it. They are super, super tiny though. Here's what they look like. So I got another one coming out of that bottom, and this one here is so cute. We have a few more squill blooming over here. Really adorable. Just a little shout out of spring. Amongst my daffodils, and these aren't blooming very well, the teet-to-teet will be blooming better soon. It's shadier here. I have a few squill that we're going to talk about. I have two kinds of squill, and the other one I just have some photos of that I'll share from my computer at the end. These are called Scilla Siberica. Now, Scilla looks like Scilla with an SC. It's also known as blue squill or spring beauty. Look at that spring beauty just blowing in the wind. They are in the Asparagaceae family, which is the asparagus family, and they used to be in the Hyacinthinaceae, something like that, family. And the other squill that I had looked like miniature hyacinths, so I could so see that, but they're not in that family anymore. So they're in the asparagus family with a subfamily of scilloides, something like that. And I could not figure out why the genus, which is the first scientific name that's capitalized, was different from the striped squill, which is the other one. My striped squill is a Puschkinia scilloides. And I don't know why this one has Scilla as its first name and the other one has a Puschkinia as its first name. You would think the first names would be the same and the second name, the lowercase one, would be different, but it's all very confusing to me. So this is a little bulb. You can see the leaves, and you can even see another bud coming out there. And it's named because of the Greek word Scilla, which means sea squill. I just don't like the name squill, period. It just feels creepy to me. It reaches a height of 5 to 7 inches. Mine are more like 4 inches. They are so tiny. Here, let me get my hand in it. My finger. How about that? My finger. Get my finger in it. You can see how tiny it is. So the squill are very early bloomers. They bloom with the daffodils, or the early daffodils, and they bloom right after the snowdrops. And also, just like the daffodils, if you go watch that video, the squirrels don't like to eat them, so they do survive better. They don't get dug up by the squirrels. That's because they are poisonous, so you do need to be careful that your dogs don't eat on them either. And just like daffodils, and you can watch that video, it shares a little bit more, it spreads through both the bulb and the seed. Now, the common thing to do with these are to plant them in grass, because the seeds will spread it everywhere in the grass. But I had this one, which I transplanted yesterday. You see, it didn't make it because I didn't get any root but I stuck it in there anyway so I could feel better. But it does spread by seed, and I've seen pictures where there's a beautiful lawn of this purple blue, and it's quite a sight. So I read that it's invasive in some parts of the world, and in America, though, I did look up a map, and it's mostly invasive in Minnesota and Wisconsin, because I certainly have not had a problem with it being invasive here. In fact, these are my only two. There might be more getting ready to bloom, but I'm not sure. You know, maybe these in front here, because they're shorter than the teat-to-teats. I read on the internet they're also known as bluebells, but they don't look like a bell shape at all to me. You can see it does have a little stripe down it. It makes you think like it's the striped squill. But this one looks a little bit different than the other one. Let me see. Get in here. But I still don't see any bell shape to it. So I think the only reason they were called bluebells is because they were a hyacinthoid, which is the category for the Spanish bluebells. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of commonality to the bluebells. I don't know why they did that. And just like any other bulb, you have to let the little leaves die back to take the nutrients back into the bulb before you remove the foliage. But that's really easy to do because these are not really annoying or in your way at all as they're dying back. There, from this angle, it looks more like the other one, and it looks like, let me see, I'm going to poke my finger. Well, you got one just like it on the other side. It looks like there's 3 of them on one stem, but they're so tiny and delicate. Just adorable. Here is the striped squill. It bloomed in 2020 after I had planted it the autumn before, and it did not come back, so I'm having to show it to you in photos. Striped squill has a different scientific name. It's Puschkinia scilloides. And as you can see, we'll zoom in on my photo here. It has blue stripes, which is why it's striped squill, with the white. And it's very much more of a bell shape than the Scilla Siberica. Siberica, that's right. And so the one starts out Scilla, and the other one, this one starts out Puschkinia. And this is on a stalk, very much like a hyacinth. They used to be in the Hyacinthaceae family. I'm not sure if I said that one right, but they're now in the Asparagaceae family. So it makes sense that they used to be in the hyacinth family. So here's another photo. You can see the center here really well, where it has some stamens inside. To me, it's just so adorable. I think they're just so adorable. If you're going to see in the next picture how small they are. This one, the Puschkinia, is named after a Russian count named Musin Pushkin, who died in 1805. So that's how it got its name. This is the photo where you can see how small they are. They're a little bit larger than the Scilla Siberica, but you can see I have a brick here, which gives you a little bit of a concept, and blades of grass that are getting tall. This is some creeping phlox, I believe, behind it. So here they are, and they're kind of, they didn't all come up, I'm imagining. Oops. Gonna have to scoot with my bars because I have some, they're not very showy. They're very light. I have some right here, and then as we move along left, there's a break where some did not come up. Now, I don't know if they just didn't like this bed, or it's very, very possible my husband weeded them the next year as weeds, not knowing what they are. Or, it could have been voles or moles that liked them, or squirrels that munched them up. But you can see I had quite a few of them come up. They were successful for 1 year. I think maybe the next year I might have had 1 or 2, and I didn't get any photos of them. Here's another close-up of them in the light, in the sunlight. They were really adorable. I liked them. But if they're not going to last in my garden, I'm probably not going to buy them again.